Hi everyone, I'm Noelle Marshall and welcome to the Co-Creators Convergence First Saturday. This is a new gathering that we're doing and we're so delighted. It was a brainchild of Tex Albert. So thank you very much, Tex. I want to welcome Joy Gilfillan, and she is going to be our host tonight. I'm used to doing these Thursday nights, so this first Saturday still got me a little kerfunkled. So Joy is with us, and she will be introducing our guest, who I'm very familiar with, my friend Kim Conrad. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about the Co-Creators Convergence, and then I'll come back. We'll introduce Joy, who will introduce Kim, who'll do a centering, and I know we're going to have a wonderful gathering together. So we just ask that all of you please stay muted, and if you have difficulty doing that, we'll mute you. So thank you very much, and stand by, everyone. And that's how we roll. That's the Co-Creators Convergence. And you're all welcome here the first Saturday at noon Eastern and every Thursday night at 8 Eastern. So I want to introduce to you our guest for tonight, Joy Gilfillan. She is a podcast host of I Change Justice, the host of Joy Talk, I like that, Civic Conversations, the founder of the International Change Network at noblegoldman.com, and the originator of the intentional change philosophies, all about expanding our human potentials as a species. So, wow, Joy, you are right here with Barbara Marx Hubbard, the co-creators. So delighted to have you. And now I'm going to turn it over to you to introduce my dear friend, Kim Conrad, who has been to at least one or two of our co-creator convergence gathering. Oh, three, there we go. So we'll see you in the future too. So enjoy this time together. I know I am. Thank you so much for coming, everyone.
Thank you, Noelle. And I want to say at first that I met Barbara Marx Hubbard quite decades ago and loved her work back then. And so her spiral knowledge actually informs my knowledge. And today it's a pleasure to introduce Kim. Kim is a friend, and she's a visionary, experienced at achieving results in personal transformation, life, and business for more than 20 years. Having rebuilt her body and her life 3 times, I mean, get that, 3 times, she has learned to leverage her gifts as an exceptional intuitive, wordsmith, and energy worker. She skillfully blends these with her master's in psychology and theatrical background to inspire her clients to come out better than they've ever been, with some laughs along the way. She is a multi-award-winning author and speaker, presenting at conferences worldwide, such as the Global Healing Conference in Bali with Desmond Tutu. Her inspirational videos and performance, like Being For, have been called spectacular. In 2007, her artistic life's work was accepted to be part of the archives at the National Museum of Women in the Arts in Washington, D.C. And in 2018, the special honor of knighthood was bestowed upon Dame Kim Conrad by the Order of the Orthodox Knights Hospitaliers of St. John, a branch of the Knights Templars out of England. Kim served as the core facilitator for self-expression with boldleaders.org for many years, and she had the privilege to work with over 400 youth leaders from around the globe through her workshop, I Have a Powerful Voice. She is, along with myself, currently in collaboration with the Universal Foundation for Holistic Design as part of their reinculturation project, and she's working with me inside the iChange network on noblegoldman.com. Kim founded Sacred Life Living, I Have a Powerful Voice, and other transformational experiences to ignite participants' innate capacity, gifts, and calling to contribute to this changing world. She has been called a pioneer of language, a soul whisperer, and her voice a healing medicine reminiscent of Maya Angelou. You can reach Kim at kimconrad.com and on Facebook at Kim Conrad Visionary. She is an amazing human being, and you will absolutely adore the next hour and a half of your life. So thank you, Kim. Take it away.
Thank you very much, Joy. Thank you, Noelle and Bob. Hello, everyone. I know in the Co-Creators Convergence video, it did say, please turn off your videos. So yes, please mute yourself, but please turn on your videos. And that way it's possible to see you. It's possible there are a couple of people like Joy and Tex supporting today. And then you can also just make comments in the I guess called comments, and please do. There'll be times to invite, and you're welcome to comment along the way. At some point, I may say we'll pause on that, but please enjoy, participate in the comments area. Today, we're going to do some practical stuff. If you have paper and pen or pencil nearby, please do that. The recording will be posted on my walls after it, so you don't need to grab everything right now. You are welcome to do a screen capture if you like. If you want to remember something for you, that's fine. There will be quite a bit of experiences today. Was my goal to experience words, be able to look at things maybe differently, and invite awareness so that we can really become more and more aware and conscious co-creators from our heart and our soul in this transformation of the planet. The other invitation is very simply, if you tend to be a thinker and wonder what's coming up and start to think about what's going on, I just invite you to notice that and then choose in being present, so that you can, because we really can't think about an experience and have it at the same time. We can have the experience and then you'll think about it next week, okay? So just, we'll do an opening meditation, and I want to invite an understanding of my way of being with the word sacred, because I'll call it your sacred story, I'll say your sacred tree, that it's really a word for me that represents the great mystery, that represents the source, the intelligence of all of life. There is no religious context at all, so that we're on the same page together. So, if you would, put your feet on the ground, close your eyes, if you would. I'm going to start my screen share, and you can see, there we go. Can everybody see that? Yes, you can see my, okay.
Looks good.
Thank you. And I tend to pose what I call causative questions, like what if you outdreamed yourself? You don't need to spend a lot of time with that right now, but humming is great. I invite you to take the you out and along the way. So welcome to all of you from all around the world, Egypt, United States, Europe, etc. So, and let's see if this, there we go, it's working. Okay. So with this image, I invite you to take that in. Put your feet on the ground and close your eyes. And if that's not comfortable, leave them open, that's fine. But if you can, close your eyes. And breathe and come in to the depths of your being. And in the distance, you're walking across a field. And as you walk closer, this feeling becomes stronger and more welcoming, like arms opening, welcoming you to the sacredness of who you are and all of life. And as you get closer, you realize this is a sacred forest. And the deeper and more you allow this sense of sacredness, the more lush, the more vibrant this sacred forest is in reflection of you. And there is one tree that really comes forward, enormous, huge, strong, vibrant, resilient. And it invites you to come be with it, to sit for a moment, to hug each other. And it opens itself and invites you to go down through its roots, to go down, 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 all the way to the center, to the womb of Mother Earth, where she welcomes you and embraces you, and is so glad to see you and connects with you. So you are supported by the tree. You could find a sacred garden in this womb. You could find all types of nurturing that are beaming information to you, reflecting your sacredness that you came in with and has always been a part of you. Feeding and sharing your sacred story, the divine blueprint of which you are made. Every cell, every space, from even before you were conceived. Your sacred story. And in this space, you are given at least one, maybe two or three gifts that may be an item, It may be a thought. It may be a feeling. It may be a word or a phrase or just a knowing or something else. And you receive these three gifts and take them in and know that they go with you to your life on the surface. And you say thank you to all that you've communed with, and it all says thank you so much to you. They are so grateful that you have come. And your sacred tree reaches out its roots, and you climb on, and it gently and gradually brings you to the surface. And as you journey up, integration becomes deeper, more knowing, more resonant, more an innate part of your conscious as well as your unconscious being. You arrive on the surface next to your sacred tree, and you say thank you to each other, however that is for you. Hug it in gratitude. You can come back at any time to your sacred forest and your sacred tree. And if you wish, even do this journey again. And you say thank you and feel complete for today. And as you do, I invite you to take your thumbs of both hands and touch the same finger on your left and right hand, whichever finger that is, index or one of your other three fingers. You touch your thumb and a finger on each hand, same finger, so that you have an anchor for this experience that you can gift yourself with at any time. And when you're ready, please open your eyes. And I'm not able to see all of you, but I think I'm scrolling a bit. Beautiful. Okay. So you're all back. Lovely. Okay. So just remember that you can do whatever finger it was, you can do that at any point in time, whether it's just want to feel more yummy or something's getting a little wiggly, you can do that. And we'll continue on our journey. Did you realize that every book you've ever read is just a different combination of 26 letters? So no matter how few or many components you have to work with, what if it's infinite, the possibilities? I will read this because I think some people are auditory oriented. There's a few slides that I'll actually read, and some people are visually oriented, but I want to add my energy with it. Positive words encourage cognitive brain function, while negative words activate our fight or flight response, which slows actually cognitive function. A single word has the power, and of course the way we say it and who we are when we say it, to influence the expression of our genes that regulate physical and emotional stress. By holding, my version of that is we hold. It's a whole body holding, not just a thinking holding. By holding a positive and optimistic word in your mind and the mind of your whole body, you stimulate frontal lobe activity. This area includes specific language centers that connect directly to the motor cortex responsible for moving you into action. And this quote from the same book: our research has shown the longer you concentrate or I would say acclimate and feel and be with as positive words, the more you begin to affect other areas of the brain. Functions in the parietal lobe start to change, which changes your perception of yourself and the people you interact with. A positive view of yourself will bias you towards seeing the good in others, whereas a negative self-image will include you towards suspicion and doubt. Over time, and this really struck me, the structure of your thalamus will also change in response to your conscious words, thoughts, and feelings. And we believe that the thalamic changes affect the way in which you perceive reality. And with this, we then all get to rewrite. I think we're caterpillars listening to the nonlinear transformation of a butterfly. So we can't write from what we've known. We have to listen and join with the future and bring the magnificent future into and as the present. So we get to choose the world that we create. And this about the power of stories. Our ability to respond is shaped by the stories woven into our view of reality. If we want to be empowered and inspired, we need stories that are empowering and inspiring. So I invite just to observe today and notice, do you contract, expand? Are there feelings and words that are more inspiring, things that are not? And I invite you to just jot down a few words. What are a few words that inspire you? What are a few words that trigger you? It might be some stuff that you recall as a kid that was not really nice. It could be play, and I'd love and invite you to share in the chat some of the words that come to you. What's inspirational for you? What triggers you? And I'm going to continue. And just notice. If you've got feelings and thoughts or get triggered or whatever, or inspired, just notice. Words make a difference. Now, look at what your thoughts, or maybe you're trying to figure out what in the world this is about. Just notice that, okay? And then when I add these words, what happens? Different reaction, different context. Okay, so my hope is that adds context and stuff in a fun way. All right, so words do make a difference. And, oh, I see, okay, there we go. One of the values of perspective, and there's lots of them, I could do a whole presentation on perspective, but I did want to bring this in. The words we choose to illustrate our perspectives and to notice what's driving the choosing, who we are being and how we deliver those words. I was really struck by this. Thinking of your child as behaving badly disposes you to think of punishment. And a lot of that can be conditioning from how you were brought up. Feeling of your child as struggling to handle something difficult encourages you to help them through their distress. And I'll invite this too. What if you didn't have a perspective on perspectives? When are you kind with yourself, others, and when are you not? Notice. Notice what the drivers are. What's the patterns? The more awareness we have, the greater choice we have. And the more conscious, amazing, and brilliant our co-creations become. The power of words. Some more stuff kind of relates to the topic at hand, I think. So we create our world with our words. And so then I ask you this. And to realize double meaning meant that we literally do sentence ourselves, each other, and the world today. That the world that we have that is currently here, I could say is the result of all the words ever spoken. And then Whatever we sentence ourselves to today is our future tomorrow. And how caringly and wisely are we willing to choose? In this next sequence of slides, I'd like you to just notice your reactions, responses, any sensations in your body. Where are they located? Do you maybe go to your head? Do you go to your heart? Do you go to, is the whole body get involved? You know, any emotions and thoughts, because when we have emotions, there's thoughts, and thoughts are made of words, and beliefs are made of words. And if there's any stories, old and or new, that show up, like, oh, that's that again, dang it, you know, whatever it is, or oh, how cute, whatever it is, but just notice, because I'll go through these and then we'll review it at the end. And I don't know what that is. It's a something. Is anybody wanted to go wait? Please, I wanted to finish the puzzle that was before this. Anybody have a feeling I wanted to finish it? Anybody noticing that the longer I wait and talk, why don't I be quiet and just go back to the slide before it so I could finish it? Anybody noticing that? Notice the stories, notice the thoughts, notice the feeling. And as I go forward into another picture, even though it's kind of funny and cute, are some of you still back at the puzzle that you didn't finish and not able to be as present to this picture? And if I go back to the one before it, he's funny and cute. I don't know if it's a he or she, but funny and cute. And if I go forward, you might even be getting a little more frustrated because I didn't go back to the, oops, to that one. Oops, well, I clicked and it, so there we have. So I'm going forward, actually. I put this in the presentation twice. So let's go ahead and finish this, because my intention is not to leave you hanging, but to cause stuff coming up. If somebody can admit, Erica, that'd be great. So can you solve this? We've got 3 red flowers equals 60. Some of you are probably beyond that already. So that means each red flower is 20. Then a red flower is 20 plus blue and blue equals 30. So a blue flower is, yeah, there you go, 5. So we have a blue flower minus 2 yellow flowers equals 3. So 5 minus, so a yellow flower must be 1, right? And then 1 plus the red flower is 20 times 5 equals, you can figure it out, 105, okay? Now, as this is solved, are you watching your system change? Are you watching your thoughts change? Are you feeling more of a sense of accomplishment? Are you feeling like, okay, I can chill now and I can go on? Just notice what's coming on for you. And give yourself some love that you're here today. And I just thought that was remarkable. The genuineness of that, where can you touch that within you? Beyond all of the thoughts, all of the everything, where can you touch that within you? And know that as you experience, if you go, God, that's gorgeous, you can't experience anything unless you are in connection with it inside of you. Because then you can't see it. If you can see it, then it also is in you. And this one, I thought that'd be a fun one to end on. A Buddha cat. So then what I'd like to invite is just take a moment and scan the sequence and increase your presencing, your awareness of what came up for you, what dissipated for you, what words came with it, what stories came with it, what feelings came with it, beliefs. Just use this sequence to become present again. If you want to take a moment and jot some notes down, do that. Okay, moving on. Because you may have had different perspectives come up in that process, I thought I'd share some 3 perspectives that can help shift. One may be very interesting and different. So this is from Access Consciousness that I've been trained in and I taught for a while. Notice whatever perspective is coming up. I want you to focus on it and say out loud, interesting perspective that I have that perspective. So I'd like you to pick a perspective. It can be from the past, but one that really kind of gets you in your craw. Not the most extreme, but one that kind of gets you in your craw. And if you're willing, feel it, look at it, sense it, and out loud, so stay muted, but out loud to yourself, say, interesting perspective that I have that perspective. And then feel it again at whatever place it is then at, and really be willing to share those words with that experience that you're having. Interesting perspective that I have that perspective. And do that like 3 or 4 times. And I can see that a lot of you are commenting in the chat. And just mention, did anything change at all? Maybe it didn't. Maybe it did. Often it does. If you were called names when you were a kid, or there's certain words that stand out to you, like stupid. If you spell it backwards, it's dippets. Is it? Yeah, it should be. I actually didn't put a U in that, so disregard that misspelling backwards. But it is dippets. It would still be pronounced the same. So stupid, it becomes dippets. My name backwards is McDarnock. It's kind of funny. I don't know. But so if you find yourself saying, well, I was just an idiot, or that was stupid, or whatever, but listen to your language. Language is windows into your conditioning and what's driving you. So it's not about make wrong. It's not about any of that. It is, here we go, I'll admit, there we go. So spell the words backwards. And if you find yourself saying stupid or idiot or whatever, then change it to, well, that was really dippets. And you likely will not have the same charge. You might even laugh a little bit. The other thing that you can do is make it outrageously silly, whether it's the whole sentence, which is all words, perspective, or a word. I mean, let your imagination run wild. Like it's dancing, I wrote, dancing in pink diapers with a blue nose that keeps growing green ears and a yellow afro. I mean, hopefully you're smiling a little bit at that idea. But just whatever it is that's going to make it, because the only place that all of that in its chemistry, as well as so it's physically, thoughts, feelings, etc., the only place that these are living right now is in us. And there are ways to transform it all when we choose. There's another process. I'll actually, because of the interest in this workshop, I created a 4-week journey which will start on May 18th. I'll share about it at the end. If you want to explore words and language and listening to source and all of that. And there's a process called Court of Atonement, which we won't have time for today, that actually changes your neurology. There are things like Psych K and tapping, and there are a number of things now where you actually can shift your neurology. And the world shows up different because you are different. So our words make a difference. This is going to be an activity. There'll be 3 rounds. If you can, up in your view, there's a, and I'll explain this and then you can go back. I think you can do this. And if not, you'll just use the arrows and scroll so you can see everybody. Do gallery view, or just, I'm seeing people on the side and there's an arrow at the bottom that I can scroll and see everybody. And so whatever it is that you do during these 3 rounds, I'm going to give you a sentence of each of the 3 rounds. And they'll be wonderful, caring sentences. And I want you to take a moment, and I'll be as if I'm doing it. And I want you to, so for example, I'm so glad you're here. I just want you to look at each person and just give them that message. Even if they're off screen, send it to them anyway. Hi, Noel. And really look at, we've got another person coming in. Go ahead and look at each person and send them, I'm so glad you're here. And I want you to include yourself. So when your picture comes up, no skippies, no skippy. If you're okay to do that, look at yourself also and share, I'm so glad you're here. I'll give a minute or so to do that. Please do that, and then we'll go on to round 2. Okay. I'm doing it also, so I'm timing myself with me doing it. Okay. Does that feel a little bit yummy somehow? There's a little possibly different energy changing. So round 2, you're going to look at everybody, including you again, and just be present. And you are such a gift. Thank you. And I want you to take a moment and just listen. And let your body tell you, was there potentially any difference in the experience? Not because of the words, but did just something feel different? And you can put it in the chat. Was there any, like, I don't know, for me, like it was maybe not quite as cohesive, or I don't know, something was going on. It didn't feel as congruent. That's me. I don't know about you. Maybe you didn't sense any difference. And I'm going to see if I can see the chat. This is new for me. So put in the chat a little bit. Was there any difference at all? Okay. Any difference at all between round 1 and round 2? Okay, interesting. Okay. Interesting. Okay. And then we'll do round 3. It's going to be a different phrase, similar thing. Round 3. And just look at everybody, including you. And when you're done, come back. And from looking at the chat, let's see. Okay. Noelle, for the heck of it, you said your eyes got bitter, or is it better? Okay. Okay, so that's fine. Oh, bigger. Can you unmute and just share what you mean by that?
When you say you are absolutely amazing, my voice went up and my eyes just got bigger because I'm amazed.
Okay, sweet. Okay, thank you. And Joy, you said that you were distracting typing. Was that on round 2? Was that?
I don't know. I was listening to you, but I did whatever felt like I was supposed to be doing. So I'm not sure if your instruction was correct or not, or if I interpreted it. But I started typing at round 1, moved into continue typing at round 2 because I was looking at people. And then I found myself going, you know what? I'm so busy typing. I'm not paying attention to the
Oh,
humans.
interesting. So you
So
you somehow got to type. Interesting. Okay.
yeah,
Interesting.
because I wanted the personal connection to the humans. So I typed to them because
Oh,
I wasn't.
you were messaging them.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah. So I wanted the
okay.
human connection, but because I couldn't see through the computer, right? But what I needed to be doing was, and so I stopped the typing and I sort of came back to the humans.
So
and
that's wonderful.
fun.
So notice, and then when you stopped the typing, did you have an
Oh yeah.
okay, so there was a
Huge
lot more
difference.
connection. So just
Yeah.
notice what the thought processes are and everything else. Oh my gosh. Okay, IS is here. So
Yeah, I think it says send them the message for each round. So it
and
wasn't
that would be
clear
that
you
led to first time I've done this. Yeah, first time I've done this. So that will be. I was playing with that word, and that makes perfect sense. So I will revise that. Raise your hand either old-fashioned way or did anybody feel any difference at all? And what the responses are is your intention from pretty much all of you, I think, was so strong. Joy, you raised your hand. Yes.
Yeah, I felt completely different on everything. And my brain was trying to process what you were trying to tell me to do, what I was reading and what I was experiencing talking to other people. So it's like my brain was on this merry-go-round.
Okay.
Connecting.
So just notice if there's a pattern in your life then where you to really get things done, you tend to go on a merry-go-round at the moment. Right?
Yeah, or jump around a spider web, whatever.
Whatever, all of the above. So
yeah.
Thank you. Kurt? You got it? Noelle, you're looking to help him.
You're mic'd out, Kurt.
Okay,
there we go.
They just allowed me to, so thank you. I also caught myself in that left brain doing it writing, and I'm thinking, wait a minute, that's not me. And so I just decided to do a whole thing for everybody, but I also was just looking at everybody and sending those thoughts. And that connected with me. And I felt that more likely connects with others, because to type it to each person like I was doing
You
specific,
also did that. Okay.
you know,
Okay.
it was just a whole.
Yeah. Well, and I'll clarify that next time. I was playing with different words, and an invitation. May I give you an invitation? When you went left brain, and now I can't see you. Let me get back so I can see you. Where are you? There you are. Hi. So when you said went to left brain and you said, that's not me. Well, the likelihood is that was you. And it was a pattern that you came from for many years. So you're getting a chance to see that sometimes you jump that way, and that's just fine. And there's advantages and values and benefits to everybody and everything.
Totally. I
Does
totally
that make
agree.
sense? Yeah. So it's who you, so, and again, the language of that's not me, then you might energetically be cutting off who you were. Okay. So the language that we go to use, and because you so much are really dedicated to being this and making a difference, there's something, you may have a judgment that that's wrong. And so to just look at all of that and find a way that all of you collaborates beautifully. Victoria, do you want to share quickly? And I'll find you. Let's see. I have to scroll to find people. Hold on one second. I want to find you.
There's a hint, Kim. When they put their hands up, they jump to the top of the screen.
Ah, hello. Hi, Victoria. I did not know that. Okay. Yes, Victoria.
Hi. Thank you for this. This is really, it's lovely. I just want to say that when I saw, I am so glad you're here, the word that popped out for me was here, because I could be glad or not glad, but here is here. And then you are such a gift. So you are such a gift. A gift is a gift. And I could be not a gifter, but the word gift completely came out. And then you are absolutely amazing. That word absolutely was so important to me, because it's absolute. It's not sometimes we're amazing and other times we're not amazing. That could be in the mind. In the mind, we could be amazing or not amazing, but in truth, we're absolutely amazing. It's a gift and we're always here. So I just wanted to
yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you for that. And we could, bouncing off of that, to say that life, the source of life, is miraculous, is remarkable, is amazing. And we are that. So that is the ocean of which we are. And then a whole bunch of other things happen. And we express, there's another thing too. Some people say, well, words are very limiting. And I'll speak briefly to that right now. Words are limiting when we come from a limited place, when we express them. When we believe that all the world of words is here. And then I can go to my heart and have feeling, and you might sense more care. And if I go to my whole body and I speak words from the entire capacity of life, then the likelihood is your experience is very different than if I'm going to my head and I'm explaining something. Does that make sense? Okay. Thank you for sharing, and we continue. And I have to click on the slide again. So on this exercise, do have pen and paper ready, or if you're on a computer, you can type on your phone. If you're on your computer, this will be easier. If you're on your phone, you may have to scroll a little bit, and you can look at it later on a computer. What I'm going to ask you to do is, it will be like a crossword puzzle all filled out. It'll be letters all over the place. And in those letters will be words. I'm sure most of us, if not all of us, have done this, where we see a whole block of letters, and then all of a sudden we're asked to say, what are the first 3 words that you see? Okay. There is this block of letters. And what I'm going to ask you to do, the first round, is to look, when I go to the next screen, just look and write down the first 3 to 5 words that you see. And then I'm going to ask you to close your eyes. And very important, please close your eyes. No finding any other words. What else can I see? No, no, no. For the sake of this exercise, you can go back and look at the recording and do that later. What are all the different words I can see? So for this exercise, let that go. And then I'll ask you to close your eyes, and then I'll have you feel a feeling, and then open your eyes and see if you see things differently. We'll do 2 or 3 rounds of this, okay? So here we go. And what are the first 3 to 5 words that you see? And write them down. And I'm gonna get that out of there. How do I get that to go sideways?
Too small for me to see. I don't have a magnifying glass.
You don't? Okay. And to get this on the frame, what I'll do is I'll create another one. That's good to know. Okay. So then close your eyes. And I want you to feel love. Whether it's somebody, an animal, some food that's really, you love that food, whatever it is. Feel love throughout your entire body and all of the field around you. And then when you're ready, open your eyes, and what are the first 3 to 5 words that you see? And write those down.
Do you want us to put that in the chat or raise our
You
hand?
can, yes, that's fine. You can put it in the chat, you can write it on a paper, whatever's going to serve you most. And yes, it would be neat to see that in the chat. And then go ahead and close your eyes again. And know that we'll end up on a positive note, okay? Because this time I want you to get pissed. I want you to be angry. I want you to be pissed off. I want you, dang or damn or whatever words, go to town, whatever it is that really gets your goat. And really feel that throughout your whole body. And you may get into judgment. You may declare stuff wrong. Don't stop yourself with that. Go there. And when you really got that from being pissed and angry, I want you to open your eyes. And what are the first 3 to 5 words that you see? And there are words that go left to right, they go top down, they go left at an angle and up to the right. There's all kinds of stuff in here. Okay. Take a breath and close your eyes again. And now I want you to feel completely supported by the universe. Mother Earth, the ground is here every day. The air is here every day. The great mystery, source, life is with you and as you every day. Feel that support from the entire universe. And feel it coming in and beaming in you and through you. And from that place, open your eyes and see what first 3, 5 words you see. And notice, is there any difference with the different emotions? I'm going to go take a look at the chat. Let me see. And just look at if you saw things that differently, depending on, thank you all for sharing. So just what were the things that were different? And you can always go back and look at this again in the recording. You can save the slide if you wish. So just the way we feel, think, believe differently. What is it? I'm going to paraphrase, and I don't know that I'll be exact. That when we change the way we look at things, the things we look at change. You know, the world will show up differently in reflection of who we are and what we choose and how we see the world, which goes all the way back to the quotes from the book. That as we think, feel, use words differently, then our actual neurology changes and we see the world differently. And then where do we go from here? We'll give a chance to ask questions, and Noelle, you let me know how much time we need at the end for you. I hope this has been of value for you. There is so much more about questions and causative questions versus questions that drive you nuts and words. And so there was, yes, Noelle?
We have about another 20, 25 minutes.
I know, I'm gonna offer questions and stuff,
Yeah.
so I'm gonna go through this. And then I wanted to leave time for questions about language. And I'll mention a couple other things about words and stuff. So I created a 4-week journey, and there have been some people already starting to join the journey. If you would like to pursue exploring language, I created a 4-week journey that's starting on May 18th, Wednesday afternoons, Mountain Time, to let go of your old stories and write inspiring new ones that reflect the magnificence of your soul. Learn to listen and write from the innate intelligent source of life rather than head. So if you really want to drop down in and live the wisdom of which you are made and be able to share your new inspiring collaboration with language, with others in the world, then I invite you to check it out. You can save $50 and receive a bonus when you register by May 15th. And that would be the link to go to. There is no www in the link, just the https://evolvewithkimconrad.com. And I'm available. I'm going to give you contact information next. If you have any questions, if you check with me, a lot of us know each other from Facebook, you can message me. So ways to stay connected. If you want any personal exploration, to explore what's possible and pursue things more, I do a complimentary 20-minute strategy session for any potential clients to find out how we can evolve together. There's Facebook, there's YouTube. I have a newsletter you can sign up for at my website. You can also do a screen capture of this. And actually, yeah, you can do a screen capture of this. and that will give that to you easily, and of course in the recording. And then there's 2 video gifts for you that are on my YouTube that have been, Being 4 was a piece that I performed at the Peace Alliance Conference, Washington. That's been called Spectacular, and that might be a gift for you. And then You Were Made for These Times, which is a reading of a letter written by Clarissa Pinkola Estes, who wrote Women Who Run with the Wolves. And there's that word amazing again, Victoria. Remember that. So I'm going to, let's see, there we go. So does everybody got that? Yeah? Okay. I'm going to stop share and come back to gallery view. Hello, everybody. So I'd like to spend a little bit of time, if there are certain words in your sphere that you use a lot. I'll give an example too of questions, what I meant by causative questions. Tui is on the call, supports me a lot. She's really great. And we were outside in the backyard looking at this apple tree that last year gave birth to hundreds and hundreds of apples, more than we'd ever had. And they were amazing. There was a difference about them. They were delicious. There was something else life-giving about them. And so there's blossoms now starting. And Tui said, do you think it's going to give apples this year? Or something like that. And if you notice that there's really no way to give an answer to that question is a question that will drive you nuts, because you're asking about something that's not really possible to answer. What I said was, I could go, I wonder what you're going to do this year. I wonder what you're going to give us this year. Thanks so much for your gifts last year, and thank you for being here this year, and for being your magnificent self. So that's an idea of questions anyway. And one other note, to know that whatever you follow I am with, you are declaring yourself, your body, and your life to be. So instead of I am tired, it could be, I seem to be feeling tired at the moment. Or I'm having an experience at the moment of, or I seem to be having an experience of being tired at the moment. And when I work with it that way, I'm usually not so tired. It's very interesting. So an offer on that. And who has any questions? Anything you'd like to ask about? Any language that you, and I'm not able to see all of you, so raise your hand and I'll scroll and.
Would you repeat what you just said about that, please?
Say that again, please, Kurt.
Would you repeat what you just said about that? Because it was so, I started
about sharing.
Yeah,
just ask if there's any language that you find that you use, any language that is common for you, phrases that are common for you, some that you may love, some that you may go, why do I keep saying that? Let me know.
I have, rather than looking at myself, I hear and I repeat what I hear, and I hear my mother say, I'm tired. And so what you just said, Kim, really resonated with me. And I see her saying it and confirming it over and over and over again. And I just want to go in there and say, Mom, please, please change your words. Do not tell your body that you are tired.
Yeah, it's well, and are you back with Mom now? Are you back with Mom? Okay. So that makes it even more challenging. So
well, I'm not living with her. I'm living around her again. I'm in the same town. And so that's a relief. On the other hand, I'm also very close to her, so I can go and be with her. And my my angst at listening to her doesn't affect her, because I can handle it in short periods of time. And I try not to remind her too much that what she is saying is resonating in me, because that would upset her, and I don't want her to be upset.
Okay. Can we, and for today, can I go through a few things that might be of value? Would that be all right?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, I just ask in a moment. So to begin with, I'll ask you to repeat after me. Okay. Imaging your mom, and know that she's doing this because somehow it's protecting her, or she wouldn't do it. Somehow it is taking care of her and protecting her. And whenever she needs to say it again, something is coming up that she's needing to protect herself from. And it's a thing that she's found that works. So whatever's coming forward, she protects herself. Okay. So, dear mom.
Dear mom.
I love you and appreciate you.
I love you and appreciate you.
And with grace.
And with grace.
I give you back everything that is yours.
I give you back everything that is yours.
Every joy.
Every joy.
Every injury.
Every injury.
Every pain.
Every pain.
Every knowing of value.
Every knowing of value.
Any language that you have the need to utter.
Any language that you have need to utter.
And I receive back.
And I receive back.
All my joys.
All my joys.
All my pains.
All my pains.
All my injuries.
All my injuries.
All my sacredness.
All my sacredness.
All my knowing of value.
All my knowing of value.
And all my words that I need to utter.
And all my words that I need to utter.
May this be done now.
May this be done now.
And forevermore.
And forevermore.
With ease and grace.
With ease and grace.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Is it a little bit different?
Yes.
Okay. And then just if you can see when she goes, I would, whenever you hear her say that, I would feel words for you, not because you're supposed to say it or because you're reacting to her, but whenever she goes there, that somehow it triggers a joy or a beauty or something in you.
I think what you've done is shown me a way of seeing past what she says.
Yeah.
Because what she says is the protection. And what she doesn't realize is that she has to say that in order to give herself rest.
Right, exactly. And just that's a process for you to come into your processing so that she has permission to live her life.
Yeah.
Whatever that looks like. Okay. All right.
Thank you so much.
Okay. You're welcome. Joy?
The words that I often utter have to do with technology and the fact that I don't know how to do it the way the techie kids do it. And so I end up getting overwhelmed.
Okay.
And so how do I bridge that one? Because I actually don't see the little icons all over the screen that all these kids see. They're just
okay. What I'd like to do is you and I are working together. We can chat about some,
sure.
There may be some brain eye exercises that will help the seeing. There
Awesome.
may also be when you go and you find out that you don't see something, rather than going, oh shit, blah, 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 okay, rather than doing that, pause and see if you can tune in to what happens right before that, because there's something that may be going on right before that, which then cuts off seeing, that may have helped you survive when you were younger. Okay.
I can already tell you that part of that is when I first started learning computers, if I pushed the wrong button, I'd lose the entire system. Like I
Okay.
lost entire bodies of
So
work.
you don't want to do that.
Yeah, so there's a
Okay.
fear there.
Okay, so that's great. And then you can set up a playground where it doesn't matter. There may be something, a way that you can play where it doesn't matter if you lose the whole thing. It might be really good if you lost the whole thing.
Wow, what a
There's
trip.
set up a little playground where it doesn't matter to play in, rather than having the playground be everything that matters. So a little playground where it doesn't matter. And then questions. So what brilliant things can I learn and see? Can I see today? What brilliant things can I learn today? And the whole body will take on a whole different way of connecting. For some reason, it feels like you relate to brilliant for some reason. But whatever words, you can do that. So I think right now we're going to give time for, unless, Noelle, do we have time for one more question if somebody has one? Oh, Ron has a question. Okay, we'll go for that. Ron, go ahead, please, or whatever you want to do.
Can you hear me?
I definitely can.
Good. It's an observation really related to one of the exercises.
Okay.
In a sense, it's a question, because a statement like, I'm so glad you're here, as I watch what's going on inside me, it is actually mobilizing a positive feeling, which is pre-existent. It's pre-existent, it's there. The words tap something which is deeply natural and bring them out. And it was that way with each one of the 4 exercises. It's really amazing. And you begin to wonder exactly, what am I? What are the positive forces that are held in check that can be released perhaps by a phrase or by a word?
So beautiful. I would invite all of us to, as we notice more, what gives rise and accentuates or helps grow or bring to light more or expand, and even all these different choices of words that I'm using, each of us will relate to them differently. That words are causative collaborators. I'll often say that many people go, well, I use words to do this. When we use something, we're seeing it as separate. Okay, and there is no separation. Everything is conscious. So I would invite that tools are collaborators. You could even ask, I want to feel more of this. Words show me what we do today. Then you can also go, what words do I love? You can go about it that way. But if you ask to be shown and feel the field through which words then come, which is what that 4-week thing is really more about, then there's a listening, there's a collaboration, there's a being in and as the field. And we can end up with answers, and even the word answers, the way we are with answers, okay? There's a lot of should and ought to and need to and all that other stuff, right? So just, yes, wonderful, Ron. Just words can really help us bring the magnificence of ourselves into being even more, and collaborating with the bringing in of the magnificent future that's asking to be born, that includes us and the rest of life here on this planet. Ado, yes, thank you, Ron. Ado, can you unmute yourself, Ado? Ado, I know from Bold Leaders. They're now all adults. I knew them when they were 14, 15, 16, and 17. Can you speak,
Yes.
Ado? Yes. And Ado is a doctor now. Yeah.
Actually, I'm in office right now.
Well, okay. You're now okay. On the job, we won't tell anyone.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Yes,
I would like
yeah.
to share this experience that I felt during the exercise.
Okay.
The second round is like I saw all the negatives word. first word I saw was sad, and then I saw afraid, problem, and sick. And then you asked her to close eyes, and then we talked about universe. And then I feel like I'm in heaven, I'm soaring in heaven. And then when I opened the eyes, the first word I saw was beginning. So to me, it felt like I saw the all negatives, and then the universe gave me another chance just to start all again, all afresh. So it's like, oh, I feel something inside me. And thank you so much for that experience.
You're welcome. And Ada writes some lovely poetry as well and does some videos as well. So, so thank you for sharing. Thank you everybody for being here. I hope to connect again, and however that shows up, I thank you for the honor of your presence. And we'll conclude this for today. Any of you that have any questions at all in regards to the 4 weeks coming up, please message me. I'm happy to even schedule a touch base on Zoom or phone, so that I can answer any questions for you to know that how it fits for you, because I'm interested in formulating it, fine-tuning it to support the people that are joining. Thank you, and I'm going to turn it over. Thank you, Bert, Kurt, on all that stuff. So they're popping up, all your comments.
Wonderful.
So on to Noel, and blessings everybody, and how amazing and magnificent can you be this week and receive that the world is. Take care. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Kim. That was really tremendous. It was really very sweet and a deep dive at the same time. And I learned a new word today. Gilfillan. That is Joy's last name. And she was our host for today. And I want to tell everyone that she will be our guest on a Thursday night on June 16th. So look forward to that. And I also want to let you know that if you want to save the chat, I did put all Kim's contact information there. If you want to save the chat and you're not on your phone, you can do that by going to the bottom of the chat and you see the smiley face, and right next to it there are 3 dots. Click one time on the 3 dots, and then bingo, it says save chat. Everybody got that? So you can save the chat, and then you will find it in a Zoom folder in Documents. It's a text file. I recommend you open up in Word. It's a lot easier to read. But I do want to turn it over to Joy right now, because I want her to tell about a few things that she has coming up. Joy, over to you.
Yeah, I'm doing the I Change Justice podcast. It's part of the work that I do. You can research that and get connected on it on Spotify. I've basically been in retreat from selling for about 10 years because I was doing a lot of deep dive into how does the world actually work and how can we turn it upside down from the mass incarceration industry to a mass empowerment world. And it's only been in the last little while that I'm coming back out and becoming visible as a person doing training. So one of the first forays is that I Change Justice podcast. You can find it on Spotify and iTunes and these places. And then that's also available through Patreon. Now we're just developing the Patreon because I'm learning how to put the podcast into newsletters so people can subscribe and get constant training. And then through the restorativecommunity.com, that's the restorativecommunity.com, you can send me a notice at mail there. And we're working to bring forward trainings and programs for, in fact, how to turn around a community. Instead of building jails, we want to be building hubs for restorative justice and restorative living and, living centers so that we can build the world better. And there are people on the call here that I've spoken to in other places, and we're doing a lot of work. And so the intentional change community on noblegoldman.com is being developed so that we can learn the process of coaching other people to coach other people to become better leaders so that we can do eldershipping. It's like we have a lot of people who have knowledge, but we're not tech savvy, or in the past have not been as tech savvy. And so being able to bring our stuff out online in different digital platforms, on YouTube, on Facebook, and promote, that's part of what I want to do. So that's where I'm at. You can find me on YouTube, on Facebook, Joy Talks. Joy Gilfillan, host of Joy Talk, is my friend. But all of this, and then through Humanity Rising, I met Kim, Kurt Kruger, Shannon MacArthur, Eric, all of you guys. It's so awesome to watch this creativity move forward. And it's a pleasure, Noelle, to meet you and Bob and Tex, and things are moving. We're changing the world, and we're doing it now. And that's so fun. So, and you know, a lot of that was sparked by the work that was done with Spiral Technologies, this whole conscious evolution thing. I mean, that was decades ago. And she was spinning it. She was the first person I saw that was a real radical running for president. I mean, what an amazing thing. What an amazing thing. Yeah. So thank you for carrying on her work.
Well, I just want to encourage everyone, if you would like to see Barbara's speech to the Democratic National Convention in 1984, she's a prophet. It's on YouTube. It's about 12 minutes long. They scheduled her when they knew there would be no TV coverage, not like today where it's 24 ad nauseum. And as the security guard was taking her up to the stand to give her speech, and really no one is paying attention, or hardly anyone, the security guard to her said, basically, lady, you're going to be talking to the universe. And so I just got chilled. She's still talking to the universe through all of us. So it's so exciting to have everyone here and be part of this community. And I do want, Eric has his hand raised, and I just would love for him to jump in here. Eric,
and I've got one other thing I forgot to say. So yes, please, Eric.
Eric, I'm going to ask you to unmute. Go ahead.
Is it possible to see you? Because I know your connection's a little funky.
Can you hear me okay?
Yes, Eric. Mm-hmm.
Okay, great. A few things. I'll make it as brief as possible. But first off, I'd like to honor the co-creators Convergence here. This is my first time on, and their work with Barbara Marx Hubbard. I am currently right now here at Independence, Virginia, at the Oracle Institute.
Oh, yes.
Home of the Peace Pentagon. And Barbara Marx Hubbard's Wheel of Co-Creation is an important feature of the work here that Laura George has founded. Mm-hmm. And it's very influential. So kudos on that. I have been working with Universal Foundation for Holistic Design, where through which I met Kim. And it's a fascinating process there, and they're doing really groundbreaking work. And the process of also doing working with the Caro Elder teachings that Ray and Nina Christa's brought through illustrates also some of what Kim is working with in the power of words, because there's a transformation technique that I learned there where my word limitation got through this technique of really going into it, transformed that word into illumination.
Wow.
And so limitations, which I will say came in really through the universe offered me an example of how to break through limitations. And then that illustration came through of how to wrestle with that word. And so now limitations are illuminations for me. And so that's sort of a blanket transformation too. So the words are so important. And every single word, when you play with it, it's all the letters, and each letter has original meanings that we've forgotten. But it's really fun as through the process that I've been working with to re-bring forward those, so you can also come to an original understanding of the power of any particular word through reading the individual meanings of the letters as if they were their own hieroglyphs. And
we need to kind of wrap it up there, Eric. Can you just?
Okay. I would also just say that I've been working with Joy now since last July, and it's a wonderful transformation process. She does marvelous work, and we are really moving into the realm of being able to ground real change. And so thank you, Kim, for what you brought here today too. And your introduction meditation, I literally over the past week had that experience and connected with my elder tree in the process before you spoke that meditation, and she was here with me. So this is the beauty of today's work. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you,
Thank
Eric.
you, Eric. And if you want to put anything else in the chat, go ahead. And as long as we have Eric on the line there and Joy and others, Bob and I are putting together a bus to go from Bristol, Tennessee, where we live, to 8 hours north, June 18th, to the Poor People's Campaign.
Wow.
For the poor people and low income wages. It's just disgraceful. When Martin Luther King first did this in 1968, there were only about 25 to 30% of the people that fell into that category. It's almost double that now. So if anybody, Eric, you sound like you're close. You want to jump on the bus? Bob has put the information in there, but please find out about it. There's so much more that we can do to help others on this planet. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to you, Kim, for one final word.
Oh, no. Just everybody come in, be present, and in gratitude for us taking and becoming and collaborating with heaven that's been running about earth and bringing and being heaven on earth now and forevermore. And so it is. Thank you, everybody.
Oh,
Thank you. Everyone's welcome to unmute. I'm going to stop the live stream. You can unmute and thank Kim, this glorious gathering.
That was awesome, Kim.
Thank you, Kim.
Thank you, everybody.